When you begin with a vision of what you want to work for that is bigger than you, you gain the power to accomplish your goals. Being a successful entrepreneur online is hard to get started with and hard to keep doing right. You will need your vision of what you work for to carry you through the rest of the steps when they get challenging. You can work for God, a better world, your spouse, or your next new car. Your vision is what keeps you going when the next 9 steps are difficult, and whatever you want to work for is up to you. The less your vision depends on you, and the more your participation is part of working for a collective cause, the better chance you will have to succeed and grow quickly. I work for God as I understand Him, for sharing love, hope, and faith with the world, and for my family, friends, and fellow human beings. You can see the value in having a vision like this is it does not depend on just me. I'm a part of a much bigger plan. The question you have to ask yourself when you're finding your vision is, what do you ultimately want to work for? The way you see the world and the work you do is the largest factor in attracting opportunities. Discovering this can take a lot of consistent time, thought, and testing. In 2004, I was a student at the University of South Carolina that was thinking about working online. I knew I wanted to make money and have a chance to escape the 9-to-5 lifestyle. Every opportunity built to match that way of thinking seemed intended to take my money or give me a very small amount of money in exchange for a lot of work. I joined a local pyramid scheme, I tried online surveys, and I failed at everything. My conclusion was that I was better off sticking with traditional means of employment. I spent the next 10 years working a lot of challenging jobs at an hourly or salaried rate. I started with an office job that bored me to death. Seeking a bit more fun, I spent 3 stressful years working 3 different jobs in the criminal justice system. I barely survived my last job as a state law enforcement officer and moved home with my parents to get my life back together. Thankfully, I was accepted at the University of South Florida to study in their criminology PhD program. After 2 years, I had received all A's and looked to be on track to be a professor in 3 more years. Clearly, I had enough motivation to get me through any kind of work environment, from the oppressive control of being a state law enforcement officer to the directed learning environment of grad school. Given I probably had motivation for success all along, why was I unable to focus at working online 10 years ago? While I was in graduate school, I was blessed to discover why I wanted to work a little bit at a time. First, I wanted to work to help people with video game addiction, something I struggled with personally. Next, I wanted to help people with all types of online addictions. Then, I wanted to help all people. Finally, I reached the vision I shared with you at the beginning of working as a servant for God, humanity, and love. Within a few weeks of just discovering I wanted to help people, I started my own business online. 6 months later, I started making money. Nearly 3 years after starting my business, I have spent so much time thinking about my motivation that I have reached a vision for myself that will endure through my life. What I have now is what I wanted more than 10 years ago when I first wanted to work online. I believe I had the ability to do this in 2004, but what I lacked was a course like this that showed me the importance of focusing motivation and embracing the love for what you do before or while you are trying to actually do it. Taking established opportunities negates the need for most of what you see in these steps because you are working in someone else's system. When you're doing it on your own as an entrepreneur, you need to have a system that works for you. If you can discover the reason that will motivate you to work your best, you give yourself the best chance to be successful as an entrepreneur. These 10 steps give you the system you can use to focus all of what you do on accomplishing your life's work. What can you do today that will matter at the end of your life? When you can make a vision that goes from today through the end of your life, you will be able to work through all of the following steps. When you've started to answer the question of what can you do today that will matter at the end of your life, you are ready to begin step 2.